You get the live and I'll get the...
we are live. Oh,
We're live.
I'll do.
Just trying to get the match on here. Obviously, Bristol City against Derby County tonight in the Championship. Be an interesting game, that. Bristol City always trying to get themselves in around that playoff picture and push into the Prem. But nobody, as of yet, has got a team in Bristol into the Premier League. Although I think I would have done it if it had been left alone.
Seen your tweet yesterday.
Yeah, I'm respite. Yeah,
You've had a bit of a stinker, haven't you? You've had a bit of a stinker.
You know what? I actually Googled it before, believe it or not. I did actually Googled it, and I was just, because I was in a rush.
Fuck it.
Yeah, it is what it is, isn't it?
It is what it is.
Calamity, that's a new word I've learnt as well.
Calamity.
Calamity, is it?
Calamity. Oh, I've had a calamity.
And then Manage.
Is he Scouser, is he? Sorry.
Agent Men. What a win for Agent Men it was during the week, by the way. 3-2 Napoli. We've given him a bit of heat for the Brent-esque interviews and the feisty one. You are.
Good win.
But a really good win. Antonio Conte, an experienced coach. Fantastic thing. So this is the Friday night show. Sounds a bit loud, that, to me.
Is that better?
A bit, yeah. I can't hear that at all. A little bit higher than that.
Better?
A little bit more. A little bit more. The Friday night show, and obviously with the fans phoning. It's an OnlyFans for football fans, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Obviously OnlyFans for football fans, where you come on and you bare your soul.
Trademark that.
Well, I was listening to Joe Rogan. Why I say that? I was listening to Rogan today in the car. I've been on daycare, so I've been exposed to the full gamut of 4 kids and a puppy. I managed to get all my chores done and all in one piece, although we've just nearly had World War III at the bowling. Took them 10-pin bowling. And obviously 2 of us had no lanes and the others had lanes, and there was kick-off over it. But what we realised is, you're doing football fans coming, having a gab with us, airing out, some of their thoughts and feelings. And again, for us, it's not about being right. It's just about having a no holds barred conversation. We're going to watch, as I say, football in the background, talk about it. But if you want to support our community and what we're about, then like and subscribe and share and retweeting. It's all massive in us. We haven't actually got sponsors and stuff like that, even though must be doing a couple of million views on the TikToks and that over the
more than that means
socials. And we kind of want to stay unfiltered. You don't really want to get a line because they go, you can't say this, you can't do that, can't. Or they actually don't want to be aligned with you one way or the other. But again, from our perspective, we want to just keep building this community. It'd be nice to switch the community into doing some positive stuff. And I seen again in the news this week, the PFA or the families of the guys who've suffered or have had kind of lasting impact injuries of consecutive concussions or head in the balls or stuff like that in football, and the families not being supported. I think that I found out this week they get £1 million. I was going to say there's only £1 million worth of funding for the families every year, but actually when you think of the money in the game and where the game stands, and also the responsibility the game has to look after its own, surely we shouldn't be seeing families having to sell houses, having to sell medals, shirts, memorabilia from their father's career to pay for medical stuff that was, caused through some of the stuff that went on in the game. The game has a duty of care to look after its own. I'm not saying,
especially
ban heading the
pillars.
ball, but we've certainly adjusted because kids don't head the ball below a certain age. So the science is kind of aligning to, look, there's something there. I think the longer the regulators and the people in charge go with ignoring it, the deeper the problem gets. I think the better everybody opens up to it. This is becoming very regular occurrence now that we'll read in the paper. We've seen, obviously, Gordon McQueen's daughter Hayley was out. We've had countless others, and don't really want to go into the names of it and miss anybody out. But ex-players from big clubs. So that means that we've got 92 clubs in our pyramid and all the other non-league lads who have a go. We've got a lot of people here who are walking around with stuff that could well be undiagnosed because people are ignoring stuff. So the sooner we raise awareness to, and as I say, £1 million a year going to the families of players is in my opinion, a travesty. We should be looking after our own, and it's something I want to try and point our community to. So again, there's loads of conversations. I do intend to get John back on. I don't know.
Yeah. I was going to say, for anyone who's wondering what Joe is talking about, go and watch the John Styles podcast. It talks a lot more about, what sort of problems past footballers are dealing with some of the injuries that they've had through playing the game through all these years, from heading the ball and other stuff. So yeah, go and watch that podcast. It's over on the YouTube, but it's very interesting and insightful. So
there's loads of other sports as well. So obviously rugby's got stuff going on. Yeah. Obviously, the former British and Irish Lions player, hooker, I'm trying to remember his name here, Steve Thompson. There's been big things about concussion protocols in rugby, and I get that if you're a boxer, rugby player, there's going to be times where obviously you get injured. That's part and parcel of the course of it. But I think being aware of it, and also making sure the ones that weren't aware of it, that as a community we get together and look after those families, I think is something that we could do quite easily, and something I think part of putting back into the game. I see a lot of people now taking out the game, creating moments for controversy to take out, etc. And football's awash with money, so to try and put money back into the game, I think there's enough money in the game, but certainly to use our influence in our community to help steer people towards helping, ex-players and stuff like that. I think we have a duty of care as an industry, and it's something I think, as a podcast and a football community, people talking about football, we should use all of our influence for. I don't know what you think in the chat, let us know.
Yeah.
But John Styles, I spoke to John today on a text, and I do intend to get him back on the podcast and do a show with him, mainly to find out where we got on from the last time, what's kind of been unearthed since, because I'm imagining with the elections coming up, the people who are in government don't really want, the biggest game in the land having this kind of stigma attached to it. And if we keep burying it in the, we don't face up to it, then we're actually posing a risk to the next generation of footballers. We've got young people here who are loving football. And again, if you said to me as a kid, I'm only saying this mainly because I think I must have it, I've headed that many balls. Do you know what I mean? I just loved heading the ball as a kid. Like some off the top of your dome and that.
Yeah.
Any type of ball, we played heads and volleys. So look, and also I wouldn't change a fucking thing. I don't want any money off anybody. Yeah. But I'm saying there's a generation that's gone before us that hasn't had the financial success of the modern game, and I had no clue what's going on and need help and support. I think as a football community we should do our utmost to raise awareness to that. And if we can raise a few shilling in the proceeds, and I look at that and go, if we get it from £1 million a year fund to £2 million a year, then we've done something good. Double
it's
the
a
pot.
good place to start.
All right, and why I say that is I seen in the news this week the nonsense potters. We spoke about Trinity Rodman getting the biggest salary in America and the rise of the women's game there, and then I seen a few of the nonsense potters kicking off because the average salary in the WSL is £47,000 a year, which is it's a good salary.
Considering they're making negative money, it's
probably about
impressive.
£800 a week, isn't it? So if someone had offered me as a kid £800 a week to play footy professionally, I would snap your hand off on it. But because the average salary in the Premier League is £3 million, obviously they're not happy, because they go, hang on a second here, in the boardroom here. Not in the boardroom, the CEO here, the CEO here. And we go, no, it's not on this one. That one's underwater. Played by cosplayers. Trying to be men. And this one's played by thoroughbred racehorses from all over the globe. Italian stallions, Argentinian stallions, Brazilian fandango stallions. Everywhere. And that's why Taylor Swift gets millions and Beyonce gets millions, because people want to fucking watch them and listen to them. The same way in the proper stuff, they get millions. And that's the way it is. Market economics. Don't like it? But stop forcing it down my throat. Please, for the God of you. The videos I'm seeing, I watched, and I've got to have to say this, because I'm trying my best. I watched the Women's Nonsense Pottery World Champions of Nonsense Pottery. It was on the other day. Bear in mind, the crowd was the school, someone from the school, like, just going, right, we give a load, 150 tickets to them. They're having 300 tickets, and the kids are like that at the school. I thought we were going to pantomime. No, going to nonsense. Oh, it is actually a pantomime, it's just a nonsense pottery one. And then what happens is you get possibly one of the maddest goals I've ever seen to win a game. Did you see the winner?
No, actively avoid it.
I only seen it because it was viral. It was doing the rounds again, and it's when the commentary goes over the top of it and they're going, oh my God, unbelievable goal here from the Gotham City. It was Gotham City, somebody's. Yeah. And you're going, it's gone in the middle of the goal. Like, where's the goalie?
What's the goalie doing?
Where's that fucking goalie?
What's the goalie doing, Tom?
Where's that goalie? And they're going, oh my God, it's the more unbelievable goal you've ever... And you're going, why?
Do you not feel like they're taking a piss out of you a little bit? Like, we're watching this game, we know that shit. Like, don't take the piss.
Do you know what?
Do not take the piss.
I genuinely don't. And it's the same way. You see these mad lefties who are refugees are welcome here, and they're like there's a certain type of them. Like they're a certain type of person. You know, the people who were doing the free Palestine nonsense pottery, blue hair. You know, all the mad. Like you can almost like predict what they're going to look like and how they're going to dress. And
that tweet that you done about that lad saying it, what he was saying.
Yeah,
he's absolutely bang on, but it's just maybe change your language a bit, fella.
Well, again, it's one of those things where organically left to grow, it get where it needs to get to. You know, as I say, I was talking to someone who works in the mainstream media today. I won't name him for fear of getting sacked. But we were having a go and we said the problem starts when the old sports day, and they went, right, there's no winners anymore. There's no fat kids in the school anymore. What we've all got, everyone's a winner, everyone's getting a sticker. No first, second and third, no little ribbon, no fucking whatever it was that they give you, the little badge. But I tell you what, no, if you got that badge and it wasn't the one you wanted, it certainly made you knuckle down and try and improve.
Well, you either go one way or the other, and that's the whole point of...
But when they got rid of that, and the meritocracy of that, and they went to tell you what, that could hurt someone's feelings. Fatty fat ass who's fucking finished last again in the fucking egg and spoon race because he's ate the egg and the spoon. You got to give him it. The fella who's fucking done it properly, balanced it on his fucking on his tongue all the way out there and got it back. Not even a blemish on the egg. He gets the same as fatty fat ass who's done absolutely jack snouts it out the back. No, I can't have that. And I go, what message are we sending to the slob? You're saying to him, just get fatter, you could be even more of a slob and you're still getting the same.
Still get the praise, yeah.
And it's this kind of communist mindset of, it doesn't matter what you do, everyone's the same. And I'm like, no, they're not. Like, surely we know now they're not. Everyone's completely fucking different, completely, absolutely different, which is brilliant. We have similarities, I get that, but not everyone's the same. And the sooner we stop doing that, because you can't win. Seen a fella this week, and he's talking, going, right, are you Russia, Ukraine? You going like, they just kept back and forth, and in the end it was like, you had to be everything they were, and it was like, are you a vegan? And he was like, no, I'm not a vegan. He was like, what? You're a fucking Nazi. How can you not be a vegan? But like, he agreed with him on every other, like 7 different steps to get there. But because he wasn't a vegan, he lost his head at him, which is the current political climate. Like, I've seen a thing this week, I'll have to mention it before we get into the phone in. And if anyone wants to talk politics as well, get it. Feel free to get in.
Mate, yeah.
Doesn't just have to be footy chat.
No.
But what we had was another incident where in America, the left were up in arms because, you know, absolutely don't want to see this, but another American person was shot by ICE, which is, you know, been going a long time. It isn't just a, you know, MAGA kind of Donald Trump thing. It was in Barack Obama's era. It's something that's always been present in you know, the recent memory of American immigration and its policy, implementation of it, or absolute disregard for it, whether, you know, you're Joe Biden or this current Trump group. So what we had was a situation where the left obviously go up in arms and all kind of, oh God, someone's been killed again, and this is outrageous, killing your own citizens, the Gestapo and all the craziness that goes on around it. And then it transpires this fella's been 11 days before, from video footage, spitting at cars, busy ice in the cars, kicking cars.
Lights up, yeah.
You know, it's just like, you know, the two sides of the story. Somewhere in the middle's the truth, isn't it? You know, somewhere where we're trying to find that common sense, that, you know, that the madness. And the problem we've got is in this country, we're kind of dipping into that. And the reason we do the show, as well as, you know, we enjoy the footy and the back and forth, is that we want to be having conversations and speaking truth to power. This is the only way we can do it. You know, being cancelled, you know, being keeping off the mainstream media, whatever. But no one gives a fuck about that anymore. Like, this is where it's at, having a community that you're building. And as I say, the Friday show for the only fan show on a Friday is us bearing our soul. You know, if you want to come on and have a gab with us, we don't also want people to agree with us. And I seen someone made me aware this week that's Stephen French, you know, the fella who's in Liverpool, only wears suits, Dan, and then he's wearing a trackie. For some reason, it's been like writing on Facebook or trying to get in touch with us on Facebook.
He wants you to go on a podcast, doesn't he, and debate him?
About masturbate him about what? What does he want?
He wants you to master debate him, yeah, master debate. If we want to do it, we're not doing it on someone else's channel. If we're going to do it, we're doing it on here. That's a fact.
Yeah, but I don't know the man. I've never met the man.
I don't know. He must want to debate you on some of your outspoken topics.
A couple of people have made me aware of it, so I mean, what have we got in common? What's he got? The only time I've seen him speak about me is when he's told lies. So why would I speak to someone who I know to be a liar? Because I've heard him speak publicly about me, and I know he's told lies.
No, I'm not seeing anything about it.
Well, I have. Yeah. So I've monitored. I've seen him over the years, and that's so I'm going, why would I want to speak to a liar? And anyway, he's got the contacts on here.
Yeah.
If you want to get into us, please give us a shout. Yeah, it sounds. But yeah, it'd be interesting to talk to them if they've got actually something to talk about. But baldy tires. No nonsense. We won't be having any of that nonsense pottery. Serious applicants only.
Nice one, Marco. Right. Appreciate that, mate. It's a good message. Should we get someone in? Alan James?
Yeah, come on.
Wants to chat. Looks like he's a Man United fan.
Do you know why I was laughing as well? I seen an advert for this the other day. It was like a shoot magazine, a thing called Superstar Call. Obviously, Blackaddy's on there, Spurs, England, and there's like a hotline to ring them or get like daily updates from them. So I'm just looking at them going, you fucking look who else on there. Like, everyone who you're looking at now in the mirror going, fucking hell, right, fair, money hungry bastards there. Look, no.
Right, Alan, I'll get you in now, mate. Let's see what's going on here. Must be in high spirits if it's a Man U fan. If you just want to unmute yourself, Al.
Yeah, hi lads, how you doing?
Hi mate, how are you?
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, I'm a Man United fan. I just wanted to know your thoughts on Man United currently and whether you think they could be in a title race.
Oh, calm yourself down over here.
Calm down.
Is that a serious question or is he taking a piss?
Serious question, because it's happened 5 times before where 12-point gap's been turned into a league victory. So I'm just seeing, do you think United's got a chance under Carrick to maybe get close to it? Maybe not win it, but get close to it.
I can see the optimism. I honestly can. Alan, is it?
Yeah.
Alan,
yeah.
I can see the optimism, mate. I really can, because you've beaten Man United and you've beaten Arsenal and you've done City. You've beaten City and you've beaten Arsenal and you've done it with, you know, Man United could have beat Man City 5-0. When I watched, I was like, wow, didn't see that.
Yeah.
Then you've gone and backed it up against Arsenal. So that group will have grown in confidence. I've seen an interview, I don't know whether you've seen it, with Lisandro Martinez today, and he spoke really well. I thought, okay.
He's growing on me.
Well, it's not just that.
He does always speak well, to be fair. So
it was what he said about Carrick, and they were asking him a lot about that. So he was, and I mean, I know they don't really, you know, get stuck into them in a negative way, but what he spoke about, I thought, okay, you know, about a closeness to the lads and you know, kind of making it a lot more easy for the boys to kind of go and perform, which is the beauty of a new manager coming in. It can give that new lease of life to a group. You've got no midweek, you know, international kind of competition with like a Europa League or any nonsense on a Thursday. You haven't even got, you know, the Champions League, you know, which keeps teams sharper on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. But the Thursday, I think, is a fucker for teams. It can disrupt your season. You haven't got that distraction. You haven't got the FA Cup distraction or the League Cup distraction. So I expect Man United to finish really strong. the fact that you've won the last two, that you know, in essence, everyone after that should be easier. So they could go on a fucking little stampede here, and you know, as I say, your 4 wins, Arsenal, City, can I see them dropping, and Man U being perfect for against either of them? I don't think they will, and be perfect.
Yeah,
I think your problems are going to come for the teams who are going to sit in a deep block against you and get Martinez, Harry Maguire, and Co on the halfway line, and the counter attack and threat the other way for you, rather than your counter attack and threat, and you can, you know, City and Arsenal kind of take the game to you a little bit. But what do you think? I mean, top 4 would be a great season for Man U. Unbelievable season.
Yeah. Any Champions League football will be great. Top four is definitely a good optimistic position for us to finish. But maybe title race is a bit far fetched.
Just a bit, mate. Just a bit.
You got a dream, haven't you? Do you know what I mean? Fucking hell, if someone had said to you at the start of the season, you'd have even been able to say that out loud without going in a straitjacket. You know, if they said that at the start of the season, someone would put you in a fucking mental asylum, lad. But yeah, it's a possibility. It's a long shot, but you know, they're not out of the woods.
Never say never, mate. Yeah.
I mean, as I say, I've had a bet with someone that they don't finish top 4. And the first time, I'm like, fucking hell, might be up against it with that.
I don't think the chat are having it. Like, what was that, mate?
Oh no, I was seeing who you guys got for the title.
I flip flopped all year, but I'm after seeing that at the weekend, I'll not have to say City, just because the manager's got the nous, been there, done it, and I think they'll find a way. Arsenal, I think the manager's going to find a way to fucking trip over the line somehow and finish second.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I agree with
it. Smile on my face.
I mean, Villa, it would be a great story for football if Villa won it, wouldn't it? Let's be honest.
I'd enjoy it.
I mean, obviously, as a Man United fan, you want to win it all, but I mean, if Villa won it, for us as an Evertonian, we haven't got a horse in the race. You know what I mean? If we can't win it, we just want a great title race. I do anyway. So,
I do think it's unlikely Man United win, but I'd say Villa for second.
I'd say there's a good scrap on for 4th as well. So it's going to. I think that's a good table. You know, that it shows you. You know, Sunderland, they'll be thinking, "Fuck me, we could get into Europe this year." Do you know what I mean? It's a good fucking table. Some good sides.
As well, yeah.
You know, Spurs have gone and had a good win during the week in the Champions League. You know, gone to Germany and got a win. I think I worry about Palace. I really, really do. But yeah, it's setting up for a good finish to the season. So listen, Al, thanks for the call, mate.
Thanks
Best
very
of
much,
luck.
Al.
Cheers, mate.
See you soon. Ta-ra, mate.
Ta-ra.
Them Manchester fans, fucking that Manchester accent so recognisable, isn't it?
The chat are fucking buzzing off. To be fair, like, no fucking harm meant, but I don't think they've got a chance of winning the title. But it's in the blood. Do you know what I mean? Like, they've had years of winning. Like, fair play for even having that thought still in your brain, even if it's a.
See, there's 2 chains of thought here. Do you be realistic and say, do you know what? Top 4 is a good season, fucking hell. Let's just fucking concentrate on that. Or do you go, well, we can win the league, yeah. And whilst aiming for winning the league, you'd actually easily make the top 4.
Yeah.
So there's 2 ways. It'll depend on where the culture is in the group. But again, if in the next 3 weeks, you know, they pick up 5 points on the top, so you go, right, we were 12 behind. We're now 7 behind. And actually, we've still got 16, 17 games to go. I think that changes the picture, because you can get within fucking breathing space. It will depend on what teams do around them. But then on the same scale of that, you know, Liverpool have had a good win during the week, and Liverpool have got an opportunity to
get rid of the slot.
You know, they're only a couple of points out of that, shake up themselves. They're only like 14, 15 points off, and aren't they? They 2 behind United now.
Don't even care.
Liverpool are 2 behind United, 36. So there's still loads to go. I think Arsenal the other day, what they have done, Arsenal, is fucking show a weakness. And, you know, like Man United, no one a few weeks ago would have pegged Man United to go and beat City and fucking Arsenal back to back.
Great performances as well, not just lucky wins. So,
do we have to give Wilcox, and we've slaughtered Wilcox and Ratcliffe and all that, saying fucking hell, been shite, fucking snake oil, man? Do we have to give them a bit of credit for fucking cutting the losses on them?
I'd hold off on that.
And go Mickey Carrick?
I'd hold off on that for now.
They have had a go with Fletcher as well, haven't they?
It's obviously there's a new manager bounce that is well and truly a thing. So give it a few weeks, they might just go back to being The Man United that we all love and know. Right, Max, I'm going to get you in. Looks like a Bristol Rovers fan. See what he's got to say. Just unmute yourself, Max, if you're there.
So I'm catching up with the chat here. Hello. All right, Max.
All right, I've literally come on to say, Joey, mate, I loved you at Rovers. We could do with you back right now.
Oh yeah, listen, mate, I had a great time there. Got fantastic support from lots of the gas heads, and had some great memories, some really good memories down there. Yeah, it's sad to see the club struggling away, mate. But I thought Steve Evans would get a bit of a tune out the group. I still wouldn't, back against you having a late spurt, and there's still a bit of room in the window. I would imagine Steve will want to get a few more of his own in. But it's going to be tight down the bottom of League Two this year, mate. It's squeaky bum time for you gasheads.
It's a big game tomorrow, home to Newport.
So what's gone wrong? What's happened then since we left?
Well, we got Matt Taylor in. The football was poor.
Yeah, the hologram fucking lit off Red Dwarf.
Then we got Calderon in, who he might be a decent manager in the future, but
obviously,
nowhere near it.
yeah, he's obviously not going to be. So no disrespect to him, he's obviously not going to be. He's obviously shit. He's obviously shit. He's a youth coach. Should never have been in there. And then who did you have after that?
With Darryl, and
Darryl, yeah. I felt for Darryl going in. Yeah, I felt for him. Good man, Darryl. Like Darryl.
Yeah, top man, but 10 in a row. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, tough. I mean, you've got to have so many things in a football club that kind of align together and working as one. The football part of it is obviously a massive part of it. The stuff on the pitch, but obviously all the stuff around the club and the off the pitch stuff is a huge factor. People talk about that wanky kind of word of 1%ers and all that, but it genuinely really, really is. And if you just get the attitudes and the kind of the people in your building and the people that you're mixing with wrong, then it can sour really, really quickly. And people think the antidote in modern football to that is, sell a player or sack a manager and bring someone new in, and in essence, all you really do is compound a bad environment with an even worse environment, because you've now upped the ante and put money in there and another ego in there, and that doesn't go to plan. So it's sad to see, mate. It really, really is. But is there any shoot to life? Have you got anything in the team? Any players developing, or have you seen anything in recent weeks to give you a bit of hope that you'll avoid dropping out the Football League?
No, I mean, we've been losing. We haven't been getting battered, but it's just the manner of the performances. Defensively, we're okay, but attackingly, honestly, it's poor. There's nothing.
Yeah, it's that's the thing though. It's just if football, you get a goal scorer, or you get a bit of a solid defence, you can kind of build something out of it to say, all right, we're not going to be fantastic today, but we'll keep a clean sheet, or we'll be able to build out off that. I've seen there was a lot of stick flying around for people playing a back five, a back four. Obviously, when you're not getting results, people are trying to get land on a formula. Dad'll think will have tried everything. Steve I seen he was playing Clinton Moller in midfield the other day and was kind of giving himself a bit of a pat on his back, saying, I'd done my notes and my research and all that, and played him as a centre mid. But Steve's going to earn his corner here, because I think this is a really, really tough job. He kind of specialises in that usually, of being able to just find enough and get the most out of a group. He's a wily old fox, Steve. So, I think there's worse teams down there around you. But I've seen Shrewsbury have shuffled the deck and got rid of Michael Appleton. Harrogate will be up against it, and Crawley's and stuff like that are kind of getting pulled into it. So I think Steve Evans and Bristol Rovers will just have enough. And I think the fans in the Mem, and the fact that there's not coronavirus and there's no fans, I think the fact that you've got the potential to get 10, 11,000, 12,000 gas heads or whatever it is in there screaming the team on will be a massive factor, as opposed to the other sides that are kind of in there. No disrespect to them, but they don't have the ability to pull that type of crowd.
Yeah, it's toxic. You've got owner protests. The attendances, atmosphere is probably worse it's been for a good few years.
Fucking hell. It's crazy that year we got promoted, you couldn't get a fucking ticket, you couldn't get a brief.
It's like 9-10 every week.
Yeah, it was brilliant, and there was a real feel-good factor in there. You know, it wasn't it's not the most picturesque stadiums, but the energy and the atmosphere that was created in there, it was fucking fantastic. And as I say, I think our boys at that time really thrived on it. We had some good young players there, and they really grew into the jersey. But it was tough that first year, changing the group over and the culture and the standards over, and lots of turnover in staff. So it is tough to turn around. But hopefully Steve can do so. I mean, I don't particularly like Steve on occasions, because he's a bit of a rough and ready character in terms of he's got a lot to say on the sideline. But actually, he is a decent fella off it, and I've obviously called him a bit of a fat cunt in the past on the sideline a few times, and he didn't like it. But I think I've done him a favour, because the years I've given it to him, he's obviously taken on board. Someone saying it to him and made himself half to a quarter of the man he once was, which will be good for his longevity. He'll get to live a little bit longer, because he's obviously carrying around half his weight. So, yeah, listen, I wasn't planning on being a kind of slim, fast kind of fitness instructor, but, I'm a kind of Swiss Army person in that regard. But yeah, Steve will... I think if given time, he'll turn that about. But again, he's got a tricky situation off the field with, for me, what is a bit of a mad ownership structure.
Yeah, I'm literally I'm not really bothered about tomorrow. I should be. It's like a local derby, but honestly, I could not be bothered less.
Yeah, right. Max, cheers. Thanks for your
Max,
call, mate.
Enjoy the game, mate, as best you can, lad. Ta-ra, mate.
Yeah, cheers, Joe.
Ta-ra, mate.
Yeah.
Who are they playing tomorrow, Bristol Rovers?
Everyone who...
Newport.
Every Bristol Rovers fan you speak to...
They should beat them.
They always have such good things to say.
Yeah, well,
you
listen,
gave them a lot, didn't you, that season?
We had a good group. Like, we had a really good... And we turned around a bit of a mad group into an exciting group for them. And yeah, it was good. It's good when it goes well, isn't it? Do you mean, like, even if it only lasts a year, 2 years or whatever, as long as you get the good times, football is a good thing for that. It's when it's a fucking stinker that you've got to you've got to kind of live with that. So you want to try and have as many good times as you possibly can, and getting promoted. Yeah, listen, great if you can win the Premier League or the Champions League if you're good enough to play in those teams, but also getting a fucking promotion or winning a cup at any level is a brilliant achievement. Obviously, in the professional game, going to playoffs, playing at Wembley, winning a big game, those moments are what players live for. And as I say, it doesn't take away from the feeling when you score a goal at those levels. It's only the same feeling in the Premier League. The only reason is you get a fucking bit more money in the bank at the end of the month.
Fucking hell, I love scoring for Parklands, mate.
Well, again, it's the same feeling, isn't it? I go and watch a lot of kids footy now. My boys play, and I was watching it the other day. I was laughing my head off. And you watch young kids score goals and stuff like that, and the joy on the faces, and also the way they celebrate as a team, and just the way they interact. And there's something beautiful about football in that regard. And again, it doesn't, the problem we've got at the minute is that the game's being commercialised and everything's about extraction of money off fans and all that fucking nonsense. And, without the fans, the game's nothing.
Well said. Do you want to have a little quick read of the chat? Got a few of the regulars in there. Mr. Booney, as always. Liverpool 151 in here every week.
A good result for the Reds during the week. We haven't spoke much about
I don't think he's a Liverpool fan, to be fair, so I don't know if he'll be happy with you saying that, but great result. Nice to see some goals again? Going in. Carrier bag, yeah.
Do you have to pay AP for that? AP for them.
But yeah, it was nice to watch. Obviously, it doesn't mean anything. Like, we finished fucking third in the Champions League, by the way. I don't know how.
What do you get for that?
You don't get fuck all, to be fair. But I mean, just the way we're playing, it's nice to be there at that stage. Do you know what I mean? We could go on a little couple in the Champions League. Like, I just wouldn't put it past Liverpool. I just wouldn't put it past us at all.
The moment that you play a top 8 in Europe team.
Got Newcastle this weekend.
They're not top 8 in Europe.
Oh, in Europe, sorry. Fingered. God, to beat in there.
Filled in.
Don't want that.
You just get absolutely slapped everywhere.
Well, let's see if we get in the fucking... We can get Real Madrid.
If you run into Bayern Munich, I think they'll dust you. Louis Diaz will tear your right back a new anus.
Real Madrid?
Head all over the gaff, lad.
Well, they beat them this year.
What a masterstroke. I'm just going to talk about this before we get into the next caller.
Dale, I will get you in 1 second. Dale, if you just hang on, we're just going to have a little chat.
I need to get this off my chest because I actually really do. I'm going to say something positive about someone here. I really do love this man.
God, take a breath.
Jose Mourinho.
Yeah, what a guy. What a game. What a guy. What an ending.
You know, he goes out to Turkey. He's obviously on a different trajectory. He was once the Don Corleone, wasn't he? He was the man.
He was.
And the game's evolved and moved, and something happened with the Crystal Skulls when he broke Barcelona for Real Madrid. Something went on there. But after that, he was a destructor rather than a builder. He was stopping stuff, and it didn't quite. He has never been the same for me since. Something happened over in that Madrid and broke him. But his story at Barcelona and everything building to that, Chelsea, brilliant. But afterwards, he's kind of been on the wane and going down. And then Fenerbahce takes on the Turkish and says, these are a load of cheating cabons here. These fucking at the absolute town halls with the refereeing and the fixing, which is brave to do in Turkey. Obviously didn't last, and he's gone. Then he picks up at Benfica, where he's been before. He's obviously been at Porto. He's a legend Portugal. Benfica. He delays he delays that game.
All right. I've seen this on Twitter. Is that true, or I think it's up to it. Like do you think that he's got it in him?
I'm going to tell you the story why. I'm going to tell you the reason why. I know he has.
Go on then.
So he's got that second half of the game delayed so that he knows that every game he knows they're quite anal on the timing of it, and he knows that every game will kick off, and if he can get himself a 2-3 minute window, he gets to see everyone else's results come in and then can do something balmy like bang a keeper up front or make a mad sub. But Jose Mourinho, I'm telling you, meticulous planner, detail, will have thought of every single fucking thing, and that will have been absolutely on the agenda. The case in point is they do it. Preparation, mad stuff happens when you meticulously prepare. So he said, if you listen to him, we played Porto a few weeks ago, and Porto were beating us, and we threw him up, and he nearly scored the header. He's fucking good in the air, he's good with the head. So it was part of the plan. They've known they were going to chuck that lad up. I thought it was from a corner when I didn't watch the game, but I seen it.
No.
It was from a wide free kick.
Yeah.
And they were winning 3-2. And there'll be a Champions League win bonus of about 5 to 10 grand, right? Just for the win. The draw won't get you it. You might get a bit less. So
for all the players,
Real Madrid break the other way, they'll get a bevy. And from nothing, and it finishes 3-3.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like it was just...
No, it was planned,
It wasn't like there was no risk. It wasn't risk adverse. So he does it. It pays off. They get what he did. Works another miracle. It's almost, for me, a little bit of, don't compare it, but like Tiger when he won again at the Masters. It's like seeing a great coach pull off.
Yeah.
You know, Benfica, if he gets them to the Champions League final or something like that, you go, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Fair play to him. And because I root for him, because he's a bit of a heel and he's a bit of a bad guy, and he takes on authority, I want him to do well. Jose, I've always liked him, and I'll say to you the story how I know he did. So it's the only game this ever happened, right? I played against Chelsea for QPR at Loftus Road. I think it's the season before, the last season I was there. And I think it was Mourinho back at Chelsea. And in the build-up to the game, they were going for the title again. It was when Fabregas scored the winner. They beat us 1-0 late in the game. But I'd kicked off at our ground staff at QPR saying, do not, whatever you do, fucking don't, for the next 2 weeks or whatever it was, next 10 days, do not cut that pitch. Do not fucking let the grass grow on that pitch. If we let the grass, we're going to get murdered by these. We've got to have slower ball. It's quite a tight, narrow pitch, QPR. But any quick ball on it would have just killed the way that our team was set up. So we were on the groundsman getting the grass longer to slow the ball down when we were playing Chelsea. Anyway, we nearly pulled the job off. Chelsea win the title that year, but we end up getting beat 1-0. Fabregas scores late in the game. It's live on Sky. I got man of the match, as I said, on the losing side. Played that well. On the losing side, got MOM, and we lost the game. So I'm in the elevator going up, in the lift going up to get all the gear from the lounges and that. And Mourinho gets in the finger with me. So it's me, him, and one other person in it going up a couple of floors, and we'll just end up gabbing that, and he goes, fucking hell. And he went to the pitch, I started laughing and he went, do you keep that pitch long? I went, I've fucking been saying it for 10 days. And he started laughing. He went, I'd have done the same. He said, I've done exactly the same. So it was just like we were laughing. But he was buzzing because they'd won. But like he was like
laughing about
fucking
it.
hell, you just killed the game there. Like he was going the fucking crash. He was like the crash. He just started laughing.
He seems
so
like
I know for sure. And then we had a few emails back and forth. I remember getting a boss email off him where he said to me, we were talking and he said, you know, I've got madness in my profile as well. He said, I always keep an eye out for you. He was talking to me saying, I've got madness in my profile. So boss to see Mourinho, who I think for a generation of us was easily, you know, the trendsetter before Pep and the top manager that got around here and took it on a tier took it to like Wenger did, like you know, some of the great coaches did. Even you know the old school coaches of Ron Atkinson's and that. I feel like people forget how many people tried to take Sir Alex on and failed, tried to be the king. And it's great now to see you've got Arteta trying to be the king, trying to take Pep off his throne. Arne Slot obviously, you know, got a bit of work to do to salvage his reputation. But last year he was walking on water. You know, you're looking at Unai Emery going, fucking hell, if you win the league at Aston Villa, that has to be considered, in my opinion. You know, it's not going to be as good as Leicester, but it has to be considered right up there in the fucking achievements
of no doubt about it.
Of Premier League.
Someone just sent a question in there that kind of relates to what you were just saying.
Joe, at your best, you should tempo, bro, playing and pose yourself mentally, great engine. Where do you think Mourinho would have used you on pitch? I don't know. He plays 4-2-3-1, doesn't he? But he'd had that kind of 4-3-3. I mean, I'd have been lucky to get in any of his sides, certainly the good ones. It depends, and again, it depends at what stage of your career, doesn't it? You know what I mean? I was a bit more box to box when I was younger, and then you change, played right mid for periods at Newcastle, and you kind of adjust to your team and your teammates. So I don't know. I think in his sides, they always kind of had, you know, a kind of core of the group. I think that's what he was excellent at, Mourinho, keeping, you know, whether it was George Costa and Porto, he kept kind of leaders around and he embraced kind of leadership. You know, Matic was a big part of his journey, and he's kind of always allowed, you know, kind of masculinity to his teams, a kind of ruggedness to his teams. He wasn't like a coach who's fucking, I think Guardiola encourages something slightly different. And why I really like Mourinho is because every time I hear him speak about Bobby Robson, and I think we can all understand that Bobby maybe wasn't like, in the modern era of a coach, the greatest coach. He was more of a manager, and fucking people love Bobby Robson, an old school coach. But, you know, the modern era of coach has certainly changed a bit. And Mourinho was seen as Bobby's translator. He was in reality a lot more than that. And that was the big thing of him not going back to Barcelona. Barcelona wouldn't give him it because they always seen him as the translator. So it broke something in Mourinho. He was like, well, fucking show yous. And he went to the Crystal Skulls. And
Rest of the brew?
no, I've got half a brew there. He went to the Crystal Skulls then, didn't he? And just broke the greatest Barca side ever. Broke the that should have been a dynasty, shouldn't it? The Pep's Barca.
Yeah.
And Mourinho broke it. But he also, I think, in the midst of that, broke himself. So yeah, I would have loved to work with him as I think any footballer would, just because he's somebody who, you know, with the fucking shit hits the fan, he's going to have your back. Like, I love the story about him where he's phoning Mkhitaryan going, please go, please leave. Every day he'd text me saying, please fuck off, will you? But you don't mind that because you go, do you know what? It's the ones who, no, I don't want you to go. And then
keep
the
it around,
last minute just knife you. You don't mind that?
Yeah. Right, Dale. Let's get you in, mate. You've been waiting. Thank you very much for waiting patiently.
I haven't even picked up here. Derby at 2-0 up here.
Derby at 2-0 up here. We've had that on the background.
My God, Bristol City.
You're right, Dale?
What's happened to them?
Hey up, lads. You all right, mate?
Dale, how are you?
Not bad, mate. Not bad. It's just a quick one about like modern football, like as it goes down into League One. I'm a Barnsley fan, and obviously at the moment we're sat in 15th, and we've got 5 games in hand on Huddersfield in 6th. Like, how does it get to that? We've got John Russell, who's playing for Jamaica, and games are getting delayed for it. He's not even getting on pitch. Like, and FA Cup replays have been cancelled because of fixture congestion. And then this is spiralling down to us because we've had a little bit of a run. We've ended up playing Liverpool in Cup. And it's just, like we're in dire straits. Us, to be fair, like we're on a constant decline. We're getting players in, we're flogging them. Managers are going left, right, and centre. It's I don't know. It's just a sorry state at minute in League One. Football is atrocious down there.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad to see because Barnsley would kind of be a side I would always imagine if they're in League One, they're trying to push to get out of it. You know, getting into the Championship and kind of staying there. Rotherham and a few other clubs do similar. They always kind of had one of the bigger budgets for League One. I think when we were at Fleetwood, I think Barnsley were maybe £7.5 to £9 million, and you know they developed a good team and got themselves up. You know, sold a load of players and then kind of obviously yo-yo a little bit, and it seemed a decent kind of business model. Obviously, not comparing them to Brighton, but like a kind of wiping. It looked to us from the outside that it was kind of wiping its nose, and you know the fans were kind of happy with that situation. But now when I see them, I do think Barnsley should be a lot higher in the League One table. I think it's a bit of a mad table when I look at it, but I do think Barnsley, you know, as a football club, should be a lot higher and in that regard. But then, you know, the problem you've got is it's very, very expensive. Football now, you're selling your stadium out, and if the football's not the best, then, you know, people don't want to go and pay for, you know, it's expensive to go and watch the footy now. You know, cost of living, you know, all over the country, but certainly in the kind of more deprived areas, and I would imagine that the surrounding area of Barnsley is not the most affluent of places. And if the football's crap and the players aren't, you know, exciting people, then I can see why people are staying away. And Barnsley will need their fans if they're going to get themselves, you know, moving in the right direction again. It's sad to see because every time I've been there, it's been fucking great atmosphere and it's a good pitch, it's a good stadium, proper football ground, and sad to see them losing the way a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's like, well, there were a fans forum the other week, and like the board turned around and said we've got the 13th biggest budget in League One, which I just think is absolutely bonkers that we're floating around. We're getting bet to players by like Leyton Orient. Like no offense to Leyton Orient, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
like, I see us as a bottom half Championship side. Like you said, chase. If we get relegated, we should be pushing for playoffs and automatics. Like,
well, you've been a Premier League side, so it, you know, I kind of,
yeah,
you know, Bradford. Before I came in the podcasting space, I had a gab with Bradford before they went on a big rise under Graham Alexander, and I see a lot of similarities in kind of, you know, the two clubs. You know, been in the Premier League, got great fan bases who were passionate, and you know the massive clubs in the town. You know, they can certainly captivate a good crowd, and you can, you know, sell out your allocations if you get a Wembley playoff final or big game or whatever. And it's sad to see them, you know, kind of not in the right position, and you see teams who do it well, who will run well, who have good recruitment. As you're saying there, I think Richie and the lads at Leyton Orient, I don't know whether the hands are hands on, but they seem to recruit really well, and you know Richie Wellens has done a great job there and got them, you know, punching, you know, way above what they have been in kind of recent years. So I don't know what's going on. It was Americans last I heard. Was it an American consortium that's in at Barnsley?
Yeah, it's a few of them. Like I think it's Chin Lee that's like the head of it. Some Chinese billionaire. There's lots of money. They own lots of different clubs. It's all a bit, I don't know. Like when we were under Crine, or the previous owner, or Barnsley born and bred, understood what the town were about. It feels like there's that disconnect now between the board and the owners to what the town's about. We're rough and ready, aren't we? Do you know what I mean? We're a Yorkshire club. We just want people we want players to go out, put a performance in. If we lose, we're not bothered. But if they've got bottle and they've had a go, it don't matter.
Yeah, you want to see people putting the effort into the shirt and representing it correctly.
Absolutely, yeah. It's all about graft. And like, we've got that lad Cleary who we've signed from West Brom. Is absolutely quality, and there's rumours that there's Bristol Rovers after him. 4.5 million being touted. We've had him.
Bristol City. Won't be Bristol Rovers paying that. You won't go there anyway. Bristol City.
City. Yeah, City. Bristol City. 4.5 mil. Like, we've had him for 6 months. I think he's on a 3-year contract, but it doesn't show the longevity of what we're trying to achieve. If we get a golden boy in who looks absolutely top draw, that we're looking to flog him at next opportunity for a quick, here we go, lads, some brown envelopes being shoved round.
But you used to take like your Herbie Kanes and your Adam Phillips, that kind of, when I was competing in the market against Barnsley, they always done really, really well with the kind of bottom end champ, kind of top end League One players who did pay maybe 250, 300, 500 for. I think maybe Cameron McGeechan or someone was one of those, and they kind of dabbled in that market and did really well. The same with kind of Corley Woodrow and the forwards. Barnsley always, cut the cloth accordingly, but were, quite shrewd in the market. So if you don't keep continually getting that right, you can't keep selling your best players. And I think, like anybody, your recruitment ultimately is a little bit of luck as well. You need people to settle in an area, you need people to settle in a team, people to be liked by certain other characters in your group, etc. It's not just the data and the stats say, oh, this player should do X, Y, and Z for our team. And I think a lot of the boffins in footy now have tried to make it a mathematical formula and, monetize it because they can get, investments, etc. Oh my God, good effort. We've probably overcorrected. We've gone from lots of the old world. It sounds like your old chairman was plugged into the town, understood what the town wants to see in its football team, and helped build. And because he's interacting with people on a daily, he's living and breathing it. When you get a consortium coming in who've got big business elsewhere and clubs elsewhere, they don't really have that attention to detail, and it's virtually impossible to put the same detail in as somebody who's hands on every day, and the old owner sounded that way. So it's tricky,
yeah.
and if you're competing on a data model, like I keep going, why are you so fucking obsessed with data? It just means whoever's paying the most is going to have the best. It's going to have better than you. Don't play their game. Find your own way of doing things. Everyone in our fucking industry just wants a copy. They go, oh shit, they've got a load of nerds in out of fucking MIT who know how to fucking count beans. Right, we need to get a bean counter ourselves. We're going to get an American bean counter who's like, hang on a sec. Do your fucking thing. Do the hard yards. Do your scout and go back to your basics. Build your youth system. Be the best you can be with what you've got. Don't be trying to play, investment fucking games like the billionaire clubs do. I think Barnsley.
Yeah, it's like when if you look at like players we've signed that have gone on. There's loads of players out there that are now playing Premier League. Brownhill, you've got Ethan Pinnock, like players that we've signed from, like, well, even Connor, who's managing now, we got him from Plymouth, and then he went on to Aston Villa. Like, we've always got them players that are ready for next step up. And they've played well. Alfie Mawson were another one who were top draw. We've had loads of them. And it's just like, we're always going to be that selling club. We're always going to be that next step up. But it's like, when you can see us gelling and starting to creeping up to, yeah, we could get promoted, or we're safe out of relegation from Championship, just to keep a bit of stability and not look for easy sell option. Like, you look at players that go from like Peterborough, they're commanding like £8 million, £9 million. When it's a Barnsley sale, it's $1.5 million with some silly sell-on clause that's never ever gonna.
But I would have to argue that that's because of the owner. So whoever's making your decisions in the club, if you look at Peterborough's decision-making group, Barry Fry, McAntney, know what to do, and there won't be much that they miss. And also they build the market for the player. With the press they do and the podcasts and the contacts in the game, they'll build a market for the player. When you're talking to me and you're saying, oh, we've got a consortium, some Americans, some fucking Chinese, you're going, who the fuck are they going to be speaking to? Who are they going to be building the market for? There's a lot more to the game than, as I say, just the basics we look at. And it looks like, when I look at Barnsley, I go, well, the best business model you can use ever is kind of Bournemouth or Brentford. Bournemouth still only get 9,500 or whatever in the Premier League. Like, so if Bournemouth can get there and stay there, anybody can. You get more on a regular than Bournemouth. Barnsley, what are you pulling, 14, 13 or something? You know, when it's going well.
Day.
I'm saying when it's going well.
On a good day.
Yeah.
I'd say on average we're getting about 10,500 a
All right.
minute.
So that's still decent. Do you know what I mean? That I mean, it's not what you can do. I know that, but like, you know, it's a fucking lot of people for watching shy footy, as you're saying. You know, you know, with the greatest respect to them, it's still lads paying the wages to fucking go and support the team. Do you know what I mean? 10,500 is a good crowd. Obviously, it could be a lot better. But you look at like a Brentford, you look at a Bournemouth, and they've got their selling. You know what I mean? They've wheeled and dealed the way up. You know, they've sold at the right times and then they've reinvested in the team, so it can be done. You know, some will argue Brighton, but I think you know, obviously, you know, they were obviously at the verge of going out of business at one point, Brighton. So there is ways of doing it, but I think it needs a fucking owner that understands and lives and breathes the club. I don't think it's an owner who, regardless of how much money you've got, I think you want someone's time, attention, and driving the standards every day in the club, like a local person would, or somebody who lives and breathes and lives in the town would.
Yeah.
Rather than an investment guy.
When you've got like folks spending like Birmingham when they were in league, like just spending millions.
Yeah, nuts.
Like Wrexham, like it's bonkers. Like it's just a market that you can't compete in.
Salford.
Yeah, Salford.
But people are championing these though. This is the thing that on these, you know, and again, you know, people are watching these shows and they go, "Oh, aren't they great for the game?" And I suppose for the town they are, because if Roman Abramovich buys your club, you don't give a fuck what happens with the money. You go, "Get fucking Brill Ronaldinho here." Yeah, if Roman Abramovich pitches up and buys Barnsley tomorrow and says, "Tell you what, right, we're going to sign Rodrigo," and you go, "Yeah, you know what? Fuck that FFP. We'll have a bowl of that," because you know, if teams want to compete, and the thing you need is an owner who's passionate about it and cares. If it's someone who's, as I say, a bean counter who's going, right, we'll fucking buy him for £4 million and we'll sell him for fucking £7 million, then the players are just fucking mercenaries who are passing through, and they understand when you do it correctly. For me, I think you build, as when I look at like a Brentford or a Bournemouth, you build like a tradition and a history with your players who go on the journey with you and then end up, you know, running your academy and running your, you know, bringing the next generations through and understanding what it means to build a club and be a part of it. And you know, Barnsley is in a football and, you know, hotbed there in Yorkshire. Everyone's fucking competitive. Leeds are going great, so it must boil your piss to see, you know, Barnsley being left behind. But you know, that is unfortunately the modern era where, you know, it's not local businessmen owning clubs now. It's, you know, consortiums trying to get to the Premier League.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Right,
yeah,
Dale,
like say,
I'll have to cut you off there, mate. Sorry.
Dale, nice to speak to you, mate. Cheers for the
Thanks
call.
very much, mate.
Good luck for the season.
Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
I didn't even. Barnsley lost away a bit there. Like they're a big fucking club in League One. Barnsley.
Yeah,
big
they're
club,
massive.
yeah.
Barnsley are a
Leeds
massive
one.
club. Yeah, massive.
Big club.
I feel like every football fan just isn't happy these days.
Well, again,
Like,
don't know what you're paying a lot for shit, aren't you? That's
shit.
right.
It's just shit. It's just shit.
Well, you know, when you pay for the ticket,
It's a good
you know, when
bit,
you actually go to work though, and you fucking graft your bollocks off, and you go, do you know what? I've just fucking spent 3 hours earning that though. I've stood to watch them, and they've gone out and not even fucking tried a leg. It would absolutely infuriate you to the point where you go, he actually doesn't care, and he's getting whatever money he's getting. It would absolutely boil your head, and you'd go, do you know what? Like, he's getting it. I'm going to shout. I've fucking had enough, and you're getting it. And the lads start crying out, "Oh, no, crowd are shouting at me." It's like, well, fucking run round.
Fucking
Play well, give your all. And they'll soon stop shouting at you. They'll fucking carry you down the fucking streets on the shoulders.
Absolutely. Charlie, Millwall season ticket holder and podcaster, in fact. What have you got to say, Charlie? If you unmute yourself there. I'll have a little read of the chat while he's getting in.
Sheffield United, what a tricky little game for them, that. Tricky little game. I'm just seeing here. I won't name his name, you see it on the chat, but someone just put, "I wish Wrexham the very worst." What's the thing coming out about old Ryan of Reynolds and Blakey Lively? It's getting a bit spicy, I've seen. I didn't delve into it, I just seen the headline. Hold off on it. But it's meant to it's going a bit.
You've been reading OK Magazine, haven't you?
No. It was Mail Online. I had a look on the Mail Online. It was saying not favourite, like some information come to light about Blake Lively and this Justin Baldoni guy.
All right.
So I don't know what's gone on there, whether there's been a bit of jiggity pokery going on.
Is that a fellow actor?
It's the one they've made like a complaint against each other or something, haven't they? Just like get each other cancelled or I don't know what the fuck's going on. In nonsense pottery land
There's
anyway.
No way they're not all goosing each other. Oh yeah, Charlie back in here.
I mean, Ryan Reynolds is the Wrexham fella, but I don't really... I'm not massive on Wrexham. I know it's done great for Wrexham, but I'm saying, is it the right message? Like, but then, if you're a Wrexham fan, you won't give a fuck, would you? Made you a global brand, you know what I mean?
You there, Charles?
Hello, you there?
Sorry, mate. Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, I've got you.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Millwall fan.
I'm a Millwall fan. Yeah,
going well this season.
It's going really well, and like going on what you were kind of saying earlier about you like the Mourinho thing, the Hill thing, the kind of, you know, not so much underdog, but like everyone loves to hate them. Do you think that it would be interesting to see Millwall in the top flight?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
It's yeah, I mean, you know, if you've played there and like you've gone down there, it's a quirky little ground, and it's a cracking of a little ground. So you'd have to do a bit of work.
It's conducive to the atmosphere,
but it's better than fucking Kenilworth Road. You know, you go in there. I mean, it's
but I think the reason Kenilworth Road is like that is because of our fault in the 80s, unfortunately. Of a riot, but you
have to go through people's fucking kitchens to get to the stadium. No, that's the only thing. You go through like the side alleys. It's nuts, isn't it? Yeah, it is nuts. But yeah, I think Millwall it'd be great to see, because it's, you know, every club's had a go, haven't they? Everyone's had a little run. We've had a few little near misses. Millwall. Alex Neil's done a great job since he's got in there.
So like when.
Are you confident? I want to ask you. I'm trying to ask you. Are you confident? Do you feel like you'll? This is your year.
I'm kind of perennially sort of like pessimistic supporting Millwall. Like, I never expect the best because they've always kind of let me down when it matters. But I see something here where the playoffs don't just seem like a pipe dream this year.
Yeah, I watched I seen a little bit.
They're talking about a few more signings before Monday. So
I seen Josh Coburn, who I had at Bristol Rovers. Did he get the goal the other day? Or was it given as an own goal? Can you hear me, Alex? Josh Coburn went in on one.
Sorry, guys, I'll let you get onto someone who's got a better connection.
It's a bit of a shit one, is it? Listen, good luck for the
Charlie,
season, mate. Good luck for the season, Charlie. That's the first bad
I know, must be his internet.
Yeah, Josh Coburn got a goal the other day, or I don't know whether he got
the 3-0. Bobby Clark.
Yeah, Lee Clark's lad. Go ahead, finish that. Fucking hell.
I was literally looking on Bet365 then, because Bristol were all over them at the Bristol draw was 9-4. I was going to back it, but thankfully
classic counter attack. That's a big result at the wrong end of the table, and again, Millwall play Sheffield United, do it in a false position. I think Sheffield United are better than Chrissy Wilder's picked them up. The 6 points cleared the drop zone now, but again, I don't think they'll get drawn into it, but they do probably want another. You'd have to get to kind of 52 points in those 46 game seasons, just to be sure. The other side of that, Millwall, I say Alex Neil's done another steady job going in there. I don't know. I don't know whether they're going to. I'm looking at the goal record there: 36 goals for 35. Saying they're going to need a bit of improvement there. They're going to need to find a goal scorer by the looks of it, or somebody who can help make goals in the last embers of the window. It sounds like, from what Alex was saying, they're trying to do that. If you're a Millwall fan or investor here, at some point you've got to fucking push all your chips all in. Did they try and do everything they can and go for the Prem? Like, there's a big carrot at the end of it, but there's a few solid sides, you know.
And the playoffs, you know what the playoffs is like.
That's a tight league, that, isn't it? Fucking tight league. It looks
always
like
is, lad. Fucking great league.
But there's also still 17 games to go. So you're like, fucking hell, they've played nearly 30 games, but you go, there's still 17 to go, you know?
Plenty.
Yeah, absolutely loads of legs in it. The other end of that table, I mean, feel sorry for Chef Wed. You see, Barry Bannon's just left Chef Wed to go to Millwall.
Has he?
Yeah, finally left.
Legend, mate.
Joe, I'm not going to be controversial here. You know,
God,
I don't
really?
fucking like being controversial. So, and I have to be controversial only because of the stuff that these people and teams put on social media. So, Chef Wed are -7 points. All right, they're going to get relegated. They're fucking up the pole, the shite. You know, the owners fucked the job up. It's a boss club, Chef Wed, but it's fucking gone wrong, gone Pete Song. So they're going to be in League One next year. Ownership's all over the gaffer, get it. But he's been there like 10 years, 12 years or something, hasn't he, Bannon? So he's seen a lot of fucking shit come under the bridge and all that. Millwall, 36 goals, 35. Might get promoted next year, right? They got beat 5-1 by Burnley in the FA Cup just a few weeks back. So Millwall, sorry, even if they do get promoted, likely they're going to get slapped all around the Prem. It's a long shot.
Be a bloodbath.
But they're going to get... So Barry Bannon's given up everything he has at Chef Wednesday. You know, he's idolised on the thing, crying and that the other day, and I'm going, no, if you've decided to leave and they're in the shit... Alexandro Del Piero stayed at Juventus when they had every fucking world suitor coming for him, offering them everything, when they got demoted and said, no, I can't leave these when they're like that. 3-1. The offside. I can't leave these when they're like that. So, let's be honest, Baz Bannon, you know, you're getting back in the Scotland squad, I can't see you. You can't get into fucking America with that crush Weetabix on the top of your head, lad. They'll let you in with that. So you're not getting in with that. You're getting through customs. The Don will make you get a fucking full... If he gets a Donald Trump haircut, he can get into America. But he's gone to Millwall, right? Might get promoted. Get dicht in the Prem next year if they don't get promoted, you know, whatever. But he's given up. Like, he should have fucking dug in. He's been there for like, if Chef Wednesday's your club,
this far, like,
yeah. If it's your club,
what you're saying.
like fucking, like they need you now more than ever. Yeah. This is where they need you more than ever. So you know your career's not going to be defined by nicking a promotion at Millwall. Yeah. But you could be you're a Sheffield Wednesday man. Fucking stay and you've given so much. And if you are, God, I just don't like seeing people crying. I'm going, well, you're not that arsed, are you? Because you wouldn't have fucking left if you
made that decision. Yeah,
you wouldn't have left. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't, like, if it hurt you that much, you wouldn't have left. You'd have said, nah, I'm not leaving. You leave when you're on the top, don't you? You go, do you know what? They don't need me now. I can fucking crack on. You don't leave when they fucking need you more than ever. Yeah, they need you more than ever.
Right, let's get another caller in. Charlie, Leeds fan, I'm guessing that is, from your bio. Charlie?
Hey gents, how we doing?
How you doing, mate?
Charlie, all right, mate? You okay?
Yeah, good to you.
Aye, not too bad, lad, not too bad. Just watching Derby fucking blather Bristol City, yeah, so always nice to see Bristol City get pumped.
As a Leeds fan, I think there's obviously a lot to be quite positive about at the minute. But for me, I'm quite a realist. I've been watching Leeds for probably best part of 20 years. Had an awful choice when I was younger, being from Rotherham. My dad's a Wednesday, my uncle's Leeds. So anyway, got dragged to Ellen Road and then sort of fell in love with the club from there. Basically, I'm just got moaning about Monday night at, I want to say Goodison then. At Bramley Moor.
Bramley Moor Superdome.
Yeah, pretty much. So basically, I lost my season ticket back. The season went up first time because I was supposed to move to Ireland and then COVID come. I didn't renew my season ticket and then I should have done, but I've lost my season ticket, so I'm now down at bottom end at pecking order. But I've done like probably 75, 80 grounds watching Leeds over the last sort of 15 years. And the amount of fucking mongs that are in our end at the minute is embarrassing. So... Are
you getting like the kind of touristy because it's back in the Premier League types, or are you getting the
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It makes me laugh. Like it come up on my Facebook memories yesterday. It was like 12 or 13 years since we played Borough away when we were proper dog meat on a Tuesday night. We were one of the coldest games I've been to, and I bet there weren't 2,000 there. So all this myth about Leeds sell out week in, week out, it's a fucking load of nonsense because they weren't there when we were shit. They just want to jump on bandwagon now, we're good again. So for me not to be able to get a ticket anymore, I'm really, really bitter about it. But there were a couple of things like...
that's the thing, isn't it, of success, that all the fucking divvies turn back up, do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I mean I get it as well, mate. But it just makes me laugh. I was speaking to a kid on train home on Tuesday saying, you know, and he ain't nail on head. How can you not afford to go when we're shit, but all of a sudden when we're good, you can afford to go again?
Well, it's like the saying, isn't it? Success has many fathers, failure has none. You know, everyone wants to be you know, when you're regaled tales from you know, certain games, the amount of people that say they've been there, and you go, well, there was only fucking 30,000 in the fucking stadium. There's fucking 150,000 people who, you know, you know, it's and Leeds. I'm made up to see Leeds back. I know, you know, they've had a little period in the wilderness there, but you know, to see Leeds back in the Premier League, I think it's one of the, you know, the league's stronger for having a big kind of northern presence in it and the big northern powerhouses. You know, I'd like to see Chef Wed back in and back in the Prem, but it looks like they're fucking gonna be in the wilderness for a lot longer. This season for Leeds, staying up, I would imagine at the start of the season, lad, you'd have been buzzing.
Yeah, 100%. I'm frustrated with how we started, really, because to be quite honest with you, with you know, with 49ers money coming, you're thinking they're going to spend it wise, and it didn't really come to anything. And then you thought, I've been probably Farke's biggest critic. I thought, you know,
he seemed to be close to going at the start of the season.
Well, yeah, and I think rightly so, and I think a lot of people agree with me. Probably should have gone after Wembley, but he didn't, and then he got us up year after. But he were close, because I thought the Standard Championship last year were piss poor, probably worst I've seen it for a long time. But his refusal.
Lost you, Charles. You there?
Get him back. He was deep. He was making a good point there.
Yeah, he was, to be fair. Fuck's sake. Hope his phone's not died.
Leeds, I think you look at Farke, and, you know, as I say, I thought the newly promoted sides were going to be set to go back down. Sunderland are going to get all the plaudits because of how well they're doing, but Leeds have gone under the radar, haven't they?
They are doing well, yeah.
Yeah, you know, even the other day against Everton game, a little bit of game of two halves, but, you know, if Leeds had got the job done there, you wouldn't have said one's been an established Premier League side since its conception and one's been fucking bouncing around the divisions. The only thing I think is you can be spoiled a little bit, and I wanted to ask Charlie there about the Bielsa years, because it seems, you know, you look at Liverpool and the Jurgen Klopp effect, it looks like Bielsa had that kind of effect at Leeds United, didn't he? Really brought that belief and feel-good factor back to Leeds, albeit, you know, they didn't manage to, you know, consolidate staying in the Prem, you know, for a longer period. But when you think Rafinha was leading that front line for Leeds there, you know, and you're a Leeds fan now going, fucking hell, must be, you know, you're watching him score every week for Barcelona going, fucking hell, if he'd have stayed in the Prem, we might have been able to keep him. Do you know what I mean? Because he's as good a forward as anyone in Europe, isn't he?
Definitely. Captain in Barcelona at the minute.
Yeah, he's cooking on gas, isn't he? Cooking on gas.
Doesn't look like he's coming back.
No, we think we've lost him. Good call, though. Thanks for the call. Yeah, sorry to lose you there, Charlie. Thank you.
Yeah, do you want to have a little read of the chat? 15 minutes to go.
Yeah, go on. I'll get through. Someone just put in here, Mark Hardman. Joey, do you think Bolton Wanderers will go up? They would be expected to, I'd imagine. It's a tight League One table. Some good.
Yeah, he's back.
No, we got Charlie back.
Good call.
No, I'll get back to that Bolton one in a minute for you.
You're right, Charlie.
Sorry, lads. My signal's crap. I do apologise.
No problem, lad. No problem. You're such a good caller, lad. We were hung on for you.
Yeah, we were waiting for you.
No, I appreciate that, gents. No, it was frustrating. Like I said, with Bielsa, like, watched obviously best football. I'm 29-year-old, so can't remember watching like when we were first in Prem. And I think anyone who was my age says they kind of line out the back sides. But the football for the first two seasons we're in Championship and the season we're in Premier League were brilliant, and then I think we did get caught out a little bit and found out a little bit. I'm probably one of the only people to say I think it were probably the right time for him to go. I think we needed it freshening up, which I know sounds mental being a Leeds fan, but I think we're only heading one way. I were there at Goodison when Frank Lampard beat us 3-0 and we just looked like a car crash, so I think a change were right, but hopefully we can solidify staying up the season.
You would say, I remember you as having a good side before it went wrong with the kind of Risdale, David O'Leary team. He's had some really good players there, really good group.
Yeah.
And then before that, you obviously had the Howard Wilkinson, the kind of ended the Championship, well, the old, and the start of the new Premier League, the kind of Leeds being the last First Division winners. The big thing for me was everybody you speak to, Leeds certainly, and that's what I want to speak to you about, Charlie, like talk about Bielsa and the way he made you feel and what he got you believing, in that team and the jersey. So would you say that that's kind of everyone's held to that standard now? Is it a bit harsh on Farr? He's done a great job this year, but because of the Bielsa effect, it's kind of, Leeds fans have been spoiled a little bit.
Well, a lot of Leeds fans can be, quite stuck in past, can't they? And obviously not dealing with what is today. I think as good as you were, you've got to move on. You've got to give someone else a chance. And if Farke were playing a brand of football that everyone loved and we were getting the results that everyone loved, I don't think anyone would have an issue with it. I think it's just a couple of things where, like his refusals to drop Melier last year were absolutely suicidal. And I think even when he's brought this new kid in, Perry from France, Carl Dowler must be absolutely kicking himself, but he's not been playing all season, because I thought he's a great number 2 and he's proven himself to be a brilliant number 1. Thought he did really well Monday night. I just hope he gets a run of games now. But again, Leeds fans getting carried away. We watched his French keeper punch a ball 6 yards out of his hands. Now we all think we're signing fucking Brian Valdez.
The thing that people forget, and again, massive club Leeds, massive club, and Leeds have been in the wilderness. We were talking to a Barnsley fan earlier who's a bit disappointed where they're going and what's happening at his club. I'm not trying to compare the two, but a spell in League One, a spell in the Championship. And, I remember, you won't remember this, but I remember a fella called David Hockaday managing fucking Leeds United.
Oh, I can remember.
Steve Evans wearing a fucking sombrero was Leeds United manager. And I'm looking at it going, Howard Wilkinson, Don Revie. I'm looking at the Leeds and you're going, how is this fucking turnip Leeds United manager?
Well,
and Cellino was the owner and the madness,
We were absolutely crazy. Thankfully, when Steve Evans wore that sombrero, we were at Rotherham last season when they stayed up at Ellen Road.
I thought was he? I thought he was Leeds manager when he done that. That's what happened.
No,
was he Rotherham manager?
But still that that fucking Bellon life. He'd just been working at Wagamama or somewhere, getting Leeds job. Jesus Christ, it makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was crazy time, mate. Yeah, must have drove you fucking balmy that.
Oh, we had, like I said, we had 10 years ago. Obviously, remember Barry McDermott got sacked on Friday night. We beat Huddersfield 4-1 on the Saturday, then got reinstated Saturday night. It was just a whirlwind, absolute car crash of a football.
Listen, it can always be fucking worse. Listen, you're in the Premier League, you're going well. You've got a fella who goes on skateboards and wears fucking skirts up front, playing like a prime R9 for you. He couldn't fucking get a game for it. Couldn't stay fit for us. Fucking playing like he's playing like Lee Chapman back in the day for you up the front there. How do you think with Calvert-Lewin? Do you think he's got an outside chance of an England World Cup squad appearance or something?
I don't. If Bamford can get an England cap, I can't see why Calvert-Lewin.
Hey, I've got one, lad.
I know, but better play them both, aren't you? Right?
No, mate. Paddy Bamford's a good player, Good player,
He's
Paddy.
soft as shit.
Yeah, well, listen, it's not everyone's a rugged kind of player, but I was shocked by how good he was. He's a lot better than I thought when I was working with him every day, Paddy. Listen, there's a part of his game that he definitely needs to develop, but good feet, good finisher, good left foot.
Did you work with him?
He was on loan at Burnley.
Yeah.
Dyche, by the way, Dyche fucking hated them.
No.
But it felt like every single year, right? The lad said Dyche would sign one player. Like, he'd sign loads of players, but to be one player who just didn't have it all.
No.
So someone would get it. But like he was a good manager, Dyche, but obviously this year it must have been Paddy Bamford. And I think they've had a big public fallout. This is well publicised. They've given each other a bit in the press.
No way.
And obviously he was just like, so basically everything he done, he just would be fucking criticised well ways for it. But I actually really got on with him because, listen, if you come from a load of money, football's a world class game. If you come from a load of money,
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
do you know what I mean? It's no quarter given. Like you get absolutely put through the grinder in the football dressing room, and obviously Paddy's, taking the rough with the smooth, and he's made a good career for himself. Because if my grandfather or whatever had a few billion, I don't think I'd be fucking running after the ball, fucking getting elbowed by all area centre-halves in the lower leagues for it.
Charlie, thanks for your call, mate.
Cheers for the call, mate.
Yeah, cheers, lads.
Good luck in
Thanks
the
a lot.
season. I play Arsenal, don't you? Arsenal at the weekend.
Is it? Yeah. Fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Come
wish
on.
us luck.
Yeah, come
Leeds.
on. Everyone will be a Leeds fan this weekend, lad.
Go on, mate.
Cheers, pal. Thanks a lot. Cheers, gents.
Right, I think that'll be the last caller anyway.
Anyone in the spaces? Another good set of callers.
We're going to go
Thanks
on to the YouTube for the last 10-15, just do some in the chat. So if you want to come over and have a listen on the YouTube, then please feel free.
Tomorrow. I'm cutting I've decided to go more on less. So like 5 teams and 4 teams. And that's my new formula.
It's a good way
so
to
like I'm looking for like 4-1. I'm not looking for 16-1 or 18-1. I'm
coming
off
the back of a win.
Coming off the back of a Europa League. I like that because there's a lot on the table.
You're in form.
But also, I am keeping down here.
Yeah.
I've got every single.
Go on, whip a few out there.
Oh, you'll see them here. I've kept hold of.
It's only from the last week. That's from the last week, that.
I've kept hold of every single betting slip I've had this year. Obviously, they're the ones that haven't been successful. And I'm going to try and work out at the end of the year. I've got the ones that have been successful, and I've got the ones that haven't. And I'm going to try and figure out, do I actually fucking know what I'm on about, and can translate that into into kind of a profit or loss. I'm just trying to figure it out.
A lot of people are saying carp face man is being potted.
Oh, has he gone? Has he, the human koi carp?
The carp face man.
It's mad that
no surprises.
He was the assistant manager of Man City's assistant manager. That was Colo Torre's assistant manager at Wigan.
At Wigan?
Yeah. The Koi Carp.
They're both gone.
I don't know what's gone on there, but also, loads of people are losing their jobs at the minute, aren't they? People are getting worried. You've got the embers in the next 24, 48 hours of the transfer windows. After this, you're kind of stuck with what you've got. So it's twitchy bum time. It's when agents can make a few quid and players can make a few quid, but also you can turn yourself from a shit team into an average team. I don't really think you can turn yourself from an average team into a good team in this type of window, because the best players don't tend to move. But you can certainly stop yourself being shit in this window and stop yourself getting fucked every week. And we've seen that all through the tiers. And I do think there's some boys in the promotion shake-up who, we were saying about Millwall there, Hull there, there'll be a few teams who you go, fucking hell, this could be the year. We want to get to the promised land. We need to fucking go for it. So I think there'll be a lot of conversations now in boardrooms going, do we fucking push the chips in? But then the other side of that, we've just been talking to a Leeds fan and we've seen Leeds push the chips in for the Champions League and end up fucking nearly going to the wall for it. So again, there's going to, it's that risk reward. And always remember the victors are always the ones who, in my opinion, take those calculated risks. So
high risk, high reward.
The good thing about it is,
if you come out with the wrong way though, like, you're fucked for years then, aren't you? You're set back for years. That's the game you play.
Do you know if you're a winner, you don't think about coming out of it the wrong way, do you? You go, we're going to get this job done. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah.
You don't go in the casino, you don't go put a bet on the horse and go, fuck, this is not going to win this.
It's true.
I genuinely, right, I'm not joking, you've seen all the slips there. I reckon every time I can't see how that doesn't win. I fucking cannot see. I'm actually thinking about going back in and going, mate, it might be too much. It takes too much money off you. And then you're like, after a minute, you're like, fucking hell, they've conceded. Didn't see that. Yeah. But yeah, it's we've got to talk about this because I did tweet today and I've seen Mark Glendinning. Thanks for making me aware of that. There's a couple of mad things happening in politics. We've had somebody who's been convicted, I think, in Yemen of terrorism, who's now going to stand as an MP, a politician in this country, which is just insane. And the other one was someone's put in here, Mark put in the Gorton and Denton by-election. Did you see the winner of that?
I've seen that, but I have no idea, no.
I didn't even know Miss Piggy was off Sesame Street was fucking allowed to run.
Oh, don't. I can already imagine what she looks like just based off what you said there.
Have you not seen who it is?
I absolutely haven't, no.
Okay, I'll have to show you then. I've got it here for you.
I've got an image in mind.
No, it'll be worse.
The what? What is it? Sorry, Gorton and Denton by-election. Is that Manchester?
It is up in Manchester, yeah. I'm trying to think.
They're in our league,
I'm sure I know.
They're in our league. She doesn't turn up there.
I'm sure Ishmael Miller was from Gorton.
Well, Denton, we'll be playing Denton in the next few weeks.
Wait, I might. Yeah, I've got you here. Okay.
Oh, no.
It's for the Green Party.
Is that
So Zach Polanski's the tit whisperers crew.
Is that a transformer? Or is that a...
I'm saying to you.
That's a transformer.
Is it?
It's got to be. Going off the hair, the outfit, and the fucking face on it. God, it's terrifying, isn't it? Don't mean to be mean, by the way, but I'm just saying what I see. It's got to be Is it a fella? It's a fella.
Melissa Poulton, formerly known as Matthew Viner.
Oh, God.
Now Gorton and Denton candidate. So, Greens, the Green Party. Again, it's strange old thing, isn't it?
They're going for the old lefties, aren't they, as much as they fucking can.
It is what it is. Listen, they may be a fantastic politician, who knows? But, yeah, strange old thing. But then when you think about it, you think, right, the Green Party. So you're in Gorton. You imagine that's a Labour place. I would imagine Denton and Gorton. From when I've driven past or through it would be Labour, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But you're going, right, we can't vote Labour because Keir Starmer's fucked the job up. And we're definitely not voting for the Tories because they fucked the job up for the last... So, we're like, the Monson Raven Looney Party out running this year. Who the fuck are we going to vote for? Greens, because that's where people go. Reform, they're trying to split that. So it's like, right, and then you go, right, we want the fucking wokerati. Who will they vote for? Oh, they'll vote for fucking him. Vote for her. Or, you know what I mean? That's what they'll be. So that'll be their logic. And the worrying thing is, there will be a lot of people who vote.
Oh, no doubt about it.
And you go, what are you actually voting for? Like, the tit whisperer is their leader. But, like, think he's going to get 100,000, 200, how many votes is he going to get? 1 million? How many votes is he going to get?
I don't know. I'm scared.
But I'm like shocked that there's 1 million people out there who go, yeah, this fella should lead. He's the leader we need. And then the offshoot of that is all the chaos they've got going on in current politics. Like we are in a mess politically, and you can't even latch on to someone to go, right, this is who's going to save us here. Like I feel so disillusioned, and it must be tough out there. Cost of living's going up, as I say, all that shite, and you know, transformers are getting banged in as fucking councillors, and fucking terrorists are getting banged, like convicted of terrorism in other countries, and then become politicians.
Like, how is that possible? It's like,
but
it's like
isn't the videos of them actually saying how much they hate England and hate Britain and all? And it's like,
he's a proven terrorist. I seen he was like, it was against a church or something. Like, they planned to do something.
It was a British consul, wasn't it? It was against the British consul in Yemen. Planning to bomb the British consul. There's some planning to blow up British people in Yemen. I'll tell you what we'll do with him. We'll bring him here and make him an MP. You're going,
how the fuck?
Hey,
what is going on? Oh,
hey,
bit of feedback.
But this is the place. I think that might have been me getting a bit too close for it. Obviously, Keir was in China. Keir's gone to see the dear leader. The dear leader's gone to see the Xi Jinping, the actual leader, the actual dear leader. So. Who knows what'll be shaken out of that? But I would imagine Donald J. Trump will be the topic of conversation there, because Xi Jinping will be saying, "Hey, fucking Donald Trump pulled your ex down on that fucking stage, didn't he? When he invited you up, and he went, yeah,
get him riled up, get him riled up,
do one." So he'll be there going, he'll be there saying, right, how do I fucking get one back over on Trump? That's what he's gone to China for. He's got him.
That lad. Trump, dangerous man.
Trump violated him on the most international stage. So are you telling me that he's not going there to kiss Xi Jinping's ring and say, "How the fucking hell can you protect me from this bully?"
Yeah.
And yet it's a strange one. But we had Vladimir Putin meeting the leader of Dubai. It's fucking something's going on in the politics. Something's going on, and what they've done in Minnesota and the nonsense they're making is distract you from the Somalian fucking daycare, fucking billions of pounds being had off. Gavin Newsom's out and about trying to distract you because he's going to become, or trying to become, the Democratic, he's going to be the anti-Trump man. He's out there. Have you seen him, the hands guy? He was the governor of California. He was the mayor of San Francisco. No. So fucking absolute gimp. His bed was getting blasted by Harvey Weinstein, and he was fucking genuinely not joking. Genuinely.
While he was together?
Don't know. But like he's the fella who fingered the fires, and remember all the fires in LA, and they'd stopped because of the fucking they went woke in the fire brigade. Basically just royally fucked up everything he's been. But he's now emerging as this kind of candidate to take on Trump for the Democrats, because obviously Kamala Harris is fucking useless and they've got no other.
Yeah.
So AOC, do you know what that is?
No.
Andrea O says Cortez or something. She was like, so the left, you're now trying to see how they play out, but basically the left are trying to point score and it's just going like mad. I seen Ed Norton from American History X. You've got all the actresses, you know, Ricky Gervais said, just pick your award up and fuck off. We've got all the actresses now. You had the girl, Natalie Portman, who was in Leon, crying on the thing about American citizens are getting shot and it's an illegal army. And it's like, no, he's fucking kicking police cars, spitting at police cars. What do you think's going to happen? And actually, they shouldn't be in the country. That's what they're protesting to say. People have been let into the country illegally.
Yeah,
and it's all a big distraction. It's to distract. Why is it in Minneapolis? To distract from the absolute fraud, the billions of pounds worth of money that's been fucking fraudulent for whatever's going on. And this is the thing about it.
By the way,
I don't get why the left don't want us. Why they don't care about all this waste.
They don't give a fuck about anything.
So they just want to tax you more, to waste it more. So you want more off us? Give us more tax. What are you going to do with it? It's going to fucking absolutely piss it up the wall over here and just get all these people who hate us taking advantage of it just to fucking build their communities and fuck us over. Yeah, all right, yeah, we'll just sit here. So we have a rise in male fucking suicides over a certain age because they just demoralise going on, how's this right? How's this fair? Anyway, last bit, Connor, he's put out, he's shouting for the tune tomorrow. Of course, I will be
obviously
hoping we get a good performance in PSG during the week from the tune. So
yeah, they played well, but
it's their type of game, innit?
Yeah,
it's their type of game.
It could work out for Liverpool because they're not going to sit back.
No, it's their type of game, a counter-attack.
8 o'clock kick-off as well.
Gravenberch or McAllister trying to play and they can get legs and energy around and press. Yeah. You've just come off playing PSG, who are going to be one of Europe's better sides.
Yeah, absolutely.
If not the best. Yeah. And also, there's no fear factor around Liverpool. There's no, like, I know they're always Liverpool, they're always dangerous, but the fear factor's gone a little bit. So, yeah, hopefully the team can get a result tomorrow, mainly just for football. You know, it stops teams being able to try and buy the league, teams being able to pay the most wages and just win every year. So I do like to see, you know, the pyramid and the football table being quite compact and loads to play for, especially as a neutral at this point in the season. So enjoy your football, bet sensibly, and